Welcome to my channel, Lobby 22. Hold on, because it's going to be something incredible. In a Chicago penthouse, Emma's world shatters when Jack finds her old diary, exposing her steamy affairs from their engagement. As his rage fuels a quest for truth, a chilling secret about their son, Liam, surfaces, linked to Emma's ex-lover, Ethan. A DNA test and Ethan's sudden return ignite a firestorm of betrayal. Will Jack's legal revenge destroy their family, or can Emma redeem herself? A gripping tale of love, lies, and shocking twists awaits. The Chicago skyline glittered through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Emma and Jack's penthouse, a sleek haven of glass and steel in the heart of the loop. It was a crisp October evening, and the couple was buzzing with plans for their 15th wedding anniversary. Emma, 35, with her sharp green eyes and chestnut curls, sorted through a stack of old invitations on the kitchen island, humming a tune. Jack, 37, his dark hair flecked with early gray, was in the storage closet, tackling a mess of boxes from their early years together. Their son, Liam, 14, was at soccer practice, leaving the penthouse quiet except for the soft clink of Emma's wine glass. Emma! Jack's voice boomed from the closet, sharp and jagged, slicing through the calm. She froze, the invitation in her hand fluttering to the counter. His tone wasn't irritation. It was something deeper, angrier. Setting down her glass, she hurried across the polished hardwood floor, her bare feet cold against it. "What's wrong?" she called, stepping into the closet. It was a cramped space, lit by a single LED bulb, with boxes stacked haphazardly. Jack stood amid the chaos, holding a small, leather-bound diary, its cover a faded teal with a tiny silver clasp. His face was ashen, his knuckles white around the diary's edges. "What's this?" Emma asked, forcing a smile, though her stomach nodded. She hadn't seen that diary in years, a relic from her early 20s, when she was a whirlwind of ambition and bad decisions at Northwestern University. She'd tucked it away, forgotten, when they moved to Chicago after their wedding. "Your diary," Jack said, his voice low, trembling with barely contained rage. "You wrote some pretty wild stuff in here, Emma, about Ethan, about other guys, while we were engaged." He opened it, flipping to a page marked with her loopy handwriting. "Listen to this. Ethan's kiss lit a fire I can't put out. I know I'm with Jack, but I can't stop." Emma's heart plummeted. Those words, written at 20, were a snapshot of her confusion before she committed to Jack. She'd been dazzled by Ethan, a charming grad student, and others, caught in a fleeting storm of doubt. But she'd chosen Jack, built a life with him. She thought those pages were buried forever. "Jack, that was ages ago," she said, stepping closer, her voice shaky. "I was a kid figuring things out. It was before we got serious. It doesn't mean anything now." Jack's eyes, usually warm, were cold as steel. "Doesn't mean anything?" He turned the page, reading aloud. "Last night with Ethan felt like freedom. I don't know if I can marry Jack. You wrote this 3 months before our engagement party, Emma." His voice cracked, and he slammed the diary shut. "You let me believe you were all in." Emma's cheeks burned. "I was all in. I chose you, Jack. I married you. We have Liam. This life. Doesn't that prove what matters?" She reached for his arm, but he pulled back, his jaw tight. "Prove?" he scoffed, his voice rising. "You wrote about sneaking off with Ethan, about nights I'll never forget with other guys. How many were there, Emma? How many lies did I build my life on?" He held up the diary, his hand shaking. "And who's this C you mention? Another fling?" Emma's breath caught. "C. Chris?" A brief crush she barely remembered. The diary was a minefield, every page a potential explosion. "Jack, please," she said, her voice breaking. "I was young, stupid. I didn't cheat after we got married. I love you. Love." Jack's laugh was bitter, echoing in the small closet. "I don't even know who you are right now." He pushed past her, storming into the living room, the diary still in his hand. Emma followed, her pulse racing, desperate to stop the spiral. "Jack, let's talk about this," she pleaded, grabbing her phone from the counter. "Don't do anything rash." "Rash?" He spun to face her, his eyes blazing. "You think I'm the one being rash? I'm taking this to Mark and Lisa's place. I need someone to help me make sense of this." Mark and Lisa, their closest friends, were hosting a dinner tomorrow. If Jack showed them the diary, their tight-knit Chicago circle would know everything by morning. "Jack, no," Emma cried, but he was already at the door, grabbing his coat. "You're blowing this out of proportion." The door slammed, leaving Emma in the silent penthouse. Her phone buzzed, an email from an unknown address. "Old secrets never stay hidden, Emma. Better watch your back." Her blood ran cold. Who could know about the diary already? Had Jack texted someone? Or was this someone from her past, like Ethan, stirring trouble? She sank onto the couch, her eyes falling on a framed photo of her, Jack, and Liam at a Cubs game, all smiles under the Wrigley Field lights. Her past had clawed its way back, threatening to shatter the life she'd built. And with that email, she knew the storm was just beginning. The Chicago wind whipped through the loop as Emma sat in her hotel room, the glow of her phone casting shadows across her face. The mysterious email, "Old secrets never stay hidden, Emma. Better watch your back," had kept her awake, her mind racing. Jack had stormed out with her diary last night, his face twisted with betrayal. Had he shown it to Mark and Lisa already? The thought of her private confessions spreading through their elite Chicago circle made her stomach lurch. She needed to find Jack to stop this before it destroyed their family. Emma grabbed her coat and headed to Mark and Lisa's condo, a sleek high-rise a few blocks from their penthouse. Jack's car was parked outside, confirming her fears. She took the elevator to the 20th floor, her heart pounding. As the doors opened, she heard voices, Jack's, low and bitter, mixed with Mark's and Lisa's murmurs. She knocked and Lisa answered, her face tight with awkward sympathy. "Emma," Lisa said, stepping aside. "You should have called." "I need to talk to Jack," Emma said, her voice steady despite the knot in her chest. She stepped into the living room where Jack sat on a leather couch, the teal diary open in his lap. Mark stood nearby, arms crossed, his usual easy grin replaced by a frown. The air was thick with tension. "Jack, please," Emma started, but he cut her off, his eyes blazing. "You don't get to walk in here and beg," he snapped, holding up the diary. "I showed them, Emma. Mark, Lisa, they know what you did. Ethan, Chris, who knows how many others. You were living a double life while I was buying you a ring." His voice trembled, a mix of hurt and fury. Mark shifted uncomfortably. "Emma, this is a lot," he said. "Jack's been reading us passages. You wrote about meeting Ethan at a hotel. That's not just youthful mistakes." Emma's face burned. "It was before we got married," she said, her voice rising. "I was 20, confused, figuring out who I was. I chose Jack. I built a life with him, Liam, our home. Doesn't that count?" "Count?" Jack laughed, bitter and sharp, the sound echoing off the condo's glass walls. "You let me think you were all in, Emma. But you were sneaking around, writing about Ethan's electric touch while I was planning our future." He flipped to a page, reading aloud, "Chris took me dancing, and for a night, I forgot Jack existed." "Forgot me, Emma?" Lisa touched Jack's shoulder, her voice soft. "Maybe you two should talk privately." "No," Jack said, standing. "I'm done hiding this. Everyone's going to know, Emma. Our friends, our colleagues, hell, maybe Liam needs to know what kind of mother he has." Emma's heart stopped. "Don't you dare bring Liam into this," she hissed, stepping closer. "He's 14, Jack. This will crush him." "You crushed us," Jack shot back, his voice breaking. "I trusted you, and now I'm wondering if Liam's even mine." His words hung heavy, and Emma felt the room spin. The doubt in his eyes mirrored her own fears, buried deep since those reckless months before Liam was born. "Jack, stop," she pleaded, tears welling. "Liam's your son. You've raised him, loved him. Don't do this." Jack shook his head, grabbing his coat. "I've ordered a DNA test kit. It's on its way to Liam at soccer camp. I need the truth, Emma. No more lies." He stormed out, leaving the diary on the couch. Mark and Lisa exchanged uneasy glances, unsure what to say. Emma sank onto the couch, her hands trembling as she picked up the diary. Its pages felt like a loaded gun. She flipped to an entry from 2009, the year Liam was conceived. "Ethan called again. One last night, then I'm done. Jack's my future." The dates were too close, the memories too blurry. She'd always told herself Liam was Jack's, but now, with Jack's doubts and that email, she wasn't sure. Her phone buzzed, a call from an unknown number. She answered, her voice shaky. "Hello?" "Emma," a smooth, familiar voice said. "It's Ethan. Heard you're having a rough week." Her blood ran cold. Ethan, now a tech mogul in Chicago, was the last person she wanted to hear from. I know about the diary, he continued. And I know something about Liam. Meet me at Millennium Park tomorrow. Noon. Bring the diary. What do you want, Ethan? Emma asked, her voice sharp. Just to talk, he said, his tone too calm. About our past. About your son. The line went dead. Emma's pulse raced. Ethan's return wasn't random, he was connected to this somehow. She remembered Mark mentioning a business rivalry with a tech CEO. Was it Ethan? Had Mark told him about the diary? The pieces didn't fit, but the threat was clear. She opened her laptop, searching for Ethan online. His face popped up on a tech conference website, standing next to Mark at a gala, both smiling tightly. Her stomach dropped. They knew each other. By morning, the rumors had spread. Emma's phone buzzed with texts from colleagues and friends. Is it true about you and Jack? What's this about a diary? Her Chicago world was unraveling, and Liam was due back from camp tomorrow. If Jack told him about the DNA test, or if Ethan got to him first, her son would be caught in the crossfire. Emma drove to the hotel, her mind racing. In her room, she found a package slipped under the door. A single Polaroid from her college days, her laughing with Ethan at a rooftop party, his arm around her waist. On the back, in her own handwriting, a night to remember. Her breath caught. Someone had been in the storage closet, digging through her past. Was it Jack, Ethan, or someone else? She clutched the photo, her resolve hardening. She had to confront Ethan, protect Liam, and stop the spiral before it was too late. The Chicago dawn painted the hotel room in muted grays as Emma sat on the edge of the bed, the Polaroid trembling in her hands. The image, her and Ethan laughing at a rooftop party, his arms slung casually around her waist, felt like a ghost from her past, unearthed to haunt her. The note on the back, a night to remember. In her own handwriting, twisted the knife of regret. Ethan's call last night, hinting he knew something about Liam, had left her sleepless. And Jack's DNA test, now on its way to their son, loomed like a guillotine. She had to meet Ethan at Millennium Park today, uncover his game, and protect Liam before everything unraveled. Emma tucked the Polaroid into her purse, next to the teal diary she'd retrieved from Mark and Lisa's condo after Jack left it behind. Her phone buzzed with another text from the unknown number. Millennium Park. Don't be late. Her pulse raced. Was it Ethan? Or someone else digging into her secrets? She couldn't shake the image of Ethan and Mark together at that gala, their smiles masking a tension she now suspected was no coincidence. Were they colluding to ruin her? She dressed quickly, her green eyes sharp despite the exhaustion etched into her face. At 35, Emma still carried the fire of her younger self, but today she felt fragile, like a cracked glass ready to shatter. She took the L train to Millennium Park, the city's pulse humming around her. The park was alive with tourists snapping photos of the Cloud Gate, its mirrored surface reflecting the skyline. Ethan stood near the sculpture, his tailored coat and easy grin unchanged from their college days. He waved her over, his eyes glinting with something sharp, confidence, maybe, or menace. Emma, he said, his voice smooth as she approached. You brought the diary. Good choice. He gestured to a bench, but she stayed standing, her arms crossed. What do you know about Liam? She demanded, her voice low to avoid the crowd's ears. And why are you doing this? What's your deal with Mark? Ethan's smile faltered, but only for a second. Mark? Oh, you've been digging. Let's just say he's not my biggest fan. We're bidding on the same tech contract, and he's been vocal about my past. Your diary was a nice bonus when he mentioned it. He leaned closer, his voice dropping. But this isn't about Mark. It's about Liam. You wrote about our nights together, Emma. Right around the time you got pregnant. Ever wonder if he's mine? Emma's breath caught, her mind reeling. The diary's timeline, those reckless weeks with Ethan in 2009, aligned too closely with Liam's birth. She'd clung to the belief that Liam was Jack's, his dark hair and stubborn streak mirroring his father's. But Ethan's words cracked that certainty. You're bluffing, she said, her voice trembling. Liam's Jack's son. You're just stirring trouble. Am I? Ethan raised an eyebrow, pulling out his phone. He showed her a screenshot. A page from her diary, sent by Mark. This says you were with me a week before you and Jack got back together. Do the math, Emma. I want that diary, or I'll tell Liam myself. Emma's heart pounded. You're a monster, she hissed, clutching her purse. Why drag my son into your games? It's not a game, Ethan said, his tone cold. Give me the diary, and I'll stay quiet. Refuse, and Liam gets the truth. Maybe from me, maybe from that anonymous email you're so worried about. He stood, brushing off his coat. Tomorrow, same place, noon. Don't make me wait. He walked away, blending into the park's crowd. Emma's knees buckled, and she sank onto the bench, her mind spiraling. Ethan had the screenshot, but who sent that email? Mark? Someone else? And how had Ethan gotten so close to Jack's friend? She opened her laptop in the hotel, searching deeper. A tech blog mentioned Ethan and Mark's rivalry over a multi-million-dollar city contract, with Mark accusing Ethan of shady tactics. Had Mark leaked the diary to sabotage Ethan only for Ethan to turn it against her? Her phone rang. Jack. She braced herself and answered. What? She asked, her voice tight. The DNA test is done, Jack said, his voice flat like he'd aged a decade overnight. I sent it to Liam's camp. He'll do it today. I need to know if he's mine, Emma. No more lies. Jack, please, Emma pleaded, tears stinging her eyes. This will hurt Liam. He's just a kid. You're his dad, no matter what. I thought I was, Jack said, his voice breaking. But after your diary, I don't know anything anymore. I'm doing this for Liam, not you. He hung up. Emma's chest tightened. She texted Liam, I love you, kiddo. Can we talk when you're back? No reply. Her heart sank, but then her phone buzzed again, a call from Liam. Her hands shook as she answered. Mom? Liam's voice was sharp, angry. I heard Dad talking to Coach about a DNA test. What's going on? Are you saying he's not my dad? Emma's throat closed. Liam, it's complicated, she choked out. I made mistakes before you were born, but you're our son. Dad loves you. I love you. Then why's he doing this? Liam shouted. I heard him say you were with some guy named Ethan. Is that true? His voice cracked and the line went silent. Emma stared at her phone, tears streaming down her face. Liam had overheard Jack, and now Ethan's threat loomed larger. She flipped through the diary, rereading the entries from 2009. Ethan's touch makes me forget everything. But Jack's my home. The words blurred through her tears. She'd chosen Jack, but the timing was too close. Had she been wrong about Liam's father all these years? She needed to stop Ethan before he got to Liam. But as she packed the diary, her phone buzzed with another text from the unknown number. You can't hide the truth forever, Emma. Attached was a photo of her and Ethan from that gala, his arm around her, with a caption, History repeats itself. Her blood ran cold. Someone was watching, waiting, and the net was closing around her family. Emma's heart pounded as she stood in Millennium Park, the Chicago skyline looming under a heavy sky. The latest anonymous text, a gala photo of her and Ethan with the caption, History repeats itself, burned in her mind. Ethan's threat to tell Liam he might be his father, coupled with Jack's DNA test, had pushed her to the edge. She gripped the teal diary, her only leverage, as she scanned the park for Ethan. She had to stop him, protect Liam, and salvage what was left of her family before it was too late. Ethan appeared near the cloud gate, his tech mogul swagger unmistakable. You're punctual, he said, his smirk infuriatingly calm. Got the diary? Tell me what you know about Liam, Emma demanded, her voice sharp, ignoring the tourists around them. No more games, Ethan. Why are you doing this? He leaned closer, his voice low. I told you, Emma. Your diary puts me in Liam's timeline. I'm not saying I'm his dad, but I deserve to know. Hand it over and I won't contact him. Push me and I'll show him the screenshot Mark sent me, your words, your nights with me. Emma's stomach churned. You're using my son to hurt me, she hissed. What's this really about, Ethan? Some grudge against Mark? Against Jack? You and Mark are fighting over a contract and now you're dragging my family into it. Ethan's eyes narrowed. Mark's been bad-mouthing me to clients, including Jack. He thought your diary would give him dirt on me, but it's better leverage against you. Give it up or Liam hears everything. Emma's DNA test will tell us soon enough, she said, her voice trembling. Leave Liam out of this. Ethan shrugged. Suit yourself. But tests take time and I don't wait. He held out his hand for the diary. Desperate, Emma shoved it into his hands. Take it. But if you go near Liam, I'll ruin you. Her voice cracked, but she held his gaze. Ethan pocketed the diary and walked off, leaving her shaking with rage and fear. Back at the hotel, Emma's phone rang. Jack, his voice colder than ever. The DNA results are in, he said. Liam's not mine. How could you, Emma? You let me raise him, thinking he was my son. Emma's knees buckled. She sank onto the bed, tears streaming. Jack, I'm so sorry, she choked out. I was confused back then. I thought Liam was yours. I swear I didn't know. You thought. Jack's voice broke. You slept with Ethan, maybe others, and didn't bother to check? I'm filing for divorce, Emma. And I want sole custody of Liam. He deserves better than a mother who lies. Jack, please, Emma begged. Liam needs us both. Don't take him away. You took my family away, he said, hanging up. Emma's world crumbled. Divorce. Custody. Liam hating her. And Ethan with the diary, free to twist the truth. She called Liam, her hands shaking, but he didn't answer. Instead, she got a text from him. Mom, Dad told me about the DNA test. I can't believe you lied. I'm not coming home. Her heart shattered. Liam was at soccer camp, but where would he go next? She had to find him. She drove to the camp an hour outside Chicago, her mind racing. At the facility, the coach met her, his face grim. Liam left an hour ago, he said. He was upset, said he needed space. Left this note. He handed her a crumpled paper. In Liam's scrawl, I can't deal with this. Don't look for me. Emma's chest tightened. Liam was 14, alone and hurt. She called Jack, her voice frantic. Liam ran away, she said. He knows about the test. We have to find him. Jack's voice was raw. This is your fault, Emma. But I'm on my way. Where are you? At the camp, she said, tears falling. Hurry. While waiting, Emma's phone buzzed, an email from the unknown sender. Liam's hurting. Truth's out now. Attached was another photo, this one recent. Liam at camp, looking angry, with Ethan in the background, watching. Her blood ran cold. Had Ethan already found Liam? Was he behind the emails, or was someone else pulling the strings? Jack arrived, his face haggard. Where's my son? He demanded. Our son, Emma corrected, her voice firm despite her fear. I know I messed up, Jack, but Liam needs us. Ethan's involved somehow. I saw him in a photo near Liam. We have to find him before Ethan does. Jack's eyes widened. Ethan? The guy from your diary? He's after Liam. His fists clenched, but he nodded. Fine. We'll search together. But this doesn't change anything between us. Emma nodded, her resolve hardening. Liam was missing, Ethan was a threat, and someone was watching. She had to find her son, face the truth, and stop this nightmare before it claimed everything she loved. The Chicago night was thick with drizzle as Emma and Jack sped through the suburbs, their headlights cutting through the fog. Liam's runaway note, I can't deal with this. Don't look for me, clutched in Emma's hand, fueled her desperation. The photo of Ethan near Liam at camp, sent by the anonymous emailer, had turned her fear into panic. Ethan had her diary, Jack was seeking divorce and custody, and Liam was missing. But Emma refused to lose her son. She had to find him, face her mistakes, and rebuild what her lies had broken. Jack's jaw was tight as he drove, his eyes fixed on the road. If Ethan's with Liam, I swear, he started, but Emma cut him off. He won't hurt him, she said, her voice shaky but firm. Ethan's playing mind games, using the diary to mess with us. But Liam's out there, alone, because of me. We'll find him, Jack. Her phone buzzed, an email from the unknown sender. Check the old arcade on Halstead. Time's running out. Emma's heart raced. Was it Ethan, or someone else? She showed Jack the message. The arcade. Jack frowned. Liam used to love that place. Let's go. He turned the car toward the city, the tension between them palpable but united by their need to save Liam. The arcade was a relic, its neon sign flickering on a quiet street. Inside, the air smelled of dust and popcorn, the hum of ancient machines filling the dim space. Emma spotted Liam at a claw machine, his hoodie pulled low, his face pale. Relief flooded her, but his eyes, red from crying, stopped her cold. Liam, she called, rushing toward him. He stiffened, stepping back, his voice sharp. Why are you here? He demanded. You lied about Dad. About everything. I don't even know who I am anymore. Emma's throat tightened. I'm so sorry, Liam, she said, tears falling. I was young, scared, and I made mistakes. But you're my son, and Jack's your dad, no matter what a test says. We love you. Jack stepped forward, his voice soft. Liam, I'm mad at your mom, but you're my kid. Always will be. Come home, please. Liam's eyes darted between them, his anger wavering. Then why the test? Why some guy named Ethan texting me about being my dad? He pulled out his phone, showing a message from an unknown number. Liam, we need to talk about your mom. Ethan. Emma's blood ran cold. Ethan had gone too far. He's lying to hurt us, she said, her voice trembling. I gave him the diary to keep him quiet, but I was wrong. I'll stop him, Liam. I promise. Liam's shoulders slumped, his voice small. I just want things to be normal again. Emma reached for him, and this time he didn't pull away. She hugged him tightly, tears soaking his hoodie. Jack joined, his hand on Liam's back, a fragile moment of unity. But Emma knew the fight wasn't over. Ethan was still out there, and the anonymous emails hadn't stopped. Back at their penthouse, Emma and Jack set Liam down. We're going to therapy, Jack said, his tone firm but kind. All of us. We need to work through this, but we're a family. Liam nodded, exhausted but willing. Emma faced Ethan the next day at a downtown cafe, her resolve steel. You contacted my son, she said, her voice low. You're done, Ethan. I don't care about the diary, tell whoever you want. But stay away from Liam or I'll go to the police with your messages. Ethan's smirk faded. You're bluffing, he said, but his eyes flickered with doubt. Try me, Emma said, standing. You used my past to hurt my family. I'm done running. She walked out, her heart pounding but lighter. She'd given up the diary, but she'd taken back her power. Days later, Jack handed Emma divorce papers, his face weary but calm. I can't stay married to you, he said. But I'm dropping the custody fight. Liam needs you, too. Tucked inside was a note. I forgive you, Emma. For Liam's sake. Her eyes welled up. She'd lost Jack, but his forgiveness was a lifeline. Emma moved into a small apartment, leaving the penthouse behind. She started volunteering at a youth shelter, helping teens like Liam navigate their struggles. It didn't erase her mistakes, but it gave her purpose. She wrote a blog about honesty and second chances, sharing her story anonymously to inspire others. One evening, Liam texted a photo of himself at a Cubs game, smiling faintly. Therapy's okay. Miss you, Mom. Emma's heart swelled. It was a start. The anonymous emails stopped, and Emma suspected Mark, Jack's friend, had sent them, bitter over losing the tech contract to Ethan. She didn't confront him, her focus was Liam. Therapy helped them rebuild trust, and Jack remained a steady presence, co-parenting with care. Emma learned to live with her past, its lessons etched into her. Lies had cost her dearly, but truth, however painful, had set her on a path to redemption.